Now, from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 10.
Developing tonight, a manhunt intensifying for the gunman accused of killing a Shelby police officer. In a Channel 9 exclusive, his friend opens up about the moments leading up to those deadly shots.
I wish I could turn back time and try to prevent it.
Good evening, I'm Allison Lattis. At 6 o'clock, we told you police arrested two women, Deetria Morris and Ashley Hamrick, in connection to this case. All new tonight and only on Channel 9, Hamrick's boyfriend told Eyewitness News reporter Joe Bruno exclusively that he was with the suspected shooter, Irving Fenner Jr., just moments before. Joe.
Like so many others, Allison, he says he is praying for Tim Brackeen. You can see the memorial here is growing. Tonight, he's pleading for his friend to turn himself in and says he regrets not doing more.
Steps right here,
Talmadge Keller walked me through his neighbor's backyard. It's here, he says, his friend Irving Fenner Jr. shot and killed Officer Tim Brackeen.
My heart's out with Tim's family. And
Keller has a history with the shooting suspect. They both lived with Keller's girlfriend, Ashley Hamrick. On the night of the shooting, Keller, Fenner Jr., and a neighbor walked to the nearby Dairy Queen to use Wi-Fi. Keller says the neighbor spotted an officer in the parking lot and that they asked Hamrick to pick all three up so they could, quote, avoid trouble. He says Fenner Jr. got out of the car before they arrived home and that minutes later, he and his girlfriend heard gunshots.
it shocked me that, that I would be in a position like that.
His girlfriend is now in jail with a $100,000 bond on a felony charge for harboring an escapee. Keller isn't facing any charges, though he told me he knew Fenner Jr. was wanted for several crimes. He says he didn't turn him in because he was scared of him. Officer Tim Brackeen was trying to arrest Fenner Jr. on outstanding warrants when he was shot and killed. Keller says he went to church with the slain officer and hopes Fenner Jr. turns himself in.
I wish I could turn back time and try to prevent it or something. I don't know. I wish I could have done more.
Police arrested a second woman, Deetria Morris. She's charged with accessory to murder. Keller tells me he doesn't know Morris. I asked him explicitly if he knows where Fenner Jr. is right now, and he says he's only heard that he's on his way to Florida. Reporting live in Shelby, I'm Joe Bruno, Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 10.
All right, Joe, thanks. And here's another look at the suspected shooter police are searching for tonight, Irving Fenner Jr. Officials tell us they are following leads, and deputies in Rutherford County even spent the day following up on several tips, but still no sign of Fenner. Friends, family, and complete strangers lined up to honor Officer Brackeen today. Coming up at 10:30, the emotional homecoming as his brothers honored a fallen friend. New tonight, the best friend of a local teacher shot during a robbery in South End opened up to Channel 9. New at 10, anchor Erica Bryant explains she's praying for Riwan Guo as she continues to fight for her life.
Coco Chen says that she met Riwan Guo years ago when they were both teaching in China. Well, years later, when they both moved to different parts of the U.S., they continued teaching and remained friends.
I loved her. She's very happy girl every time, everywhere she goes.
Coco Chen describes her friend Riwan Guo, the Kensington elementary school teacher now in critical condition after being attacked Friday night in South End. Guo and her boyfriend were leaving a concert when an armed suspect demanded his wallet and shot Guo before running off with $900 cash.
I was so sad. I cried because I could not believe it. I didn't believe him.
Shocked by the tragedy, Chen says she just talked to Guo on the phone last Wednesday, and Guo was sharing her dreams for the future.
She said maybe she want to go get married with her boyfriend. I said, that's very good. And maybe have kids, maybe have the green card, and then can stay in America.
Now Chen is leaving Mississippi, heading here to Charlotte to be by her friend's side at the hospital, hoping for the best.
Everybody prays for her.
As for this investigation, so far no arrests have been made. Guo's family is expected to arrive here tonight. Now, we just checked and the teacher remains in critical condition.
Thanks, Erica. A friend of the couple is organizing a benefit to raise money for the families. Neil Jackson said that he had invited Riwon Guo and her boyfriend to his show at a South End music hall that night. Little did he know that tragic shooting would happen soon after. We spoke with Jackson over the phone.
Always smiling, always laughing. And she and Nate were just so wonderful together, and that's all that boy ever talks about.
Details on the benefit have not been finalized, but Jackson is hoping to have the event September 25th. A memorial has been set up at the elementary school Guo teaches at, and we've posted photos on WSOC-TV.com. You can also leave your message there for students and her family. Now to breaking news we're following. Hillary Clinton will return to the campaign trail on Thursday, and in her event since taking time off to recover from pneumonia, she'll be back in North Carolina, this time in Greensboro. You'll remember this past weekend she had to leave a 9/11 event early because she wasn't feeling well, and aides rushed to her side after she nearly fainted. Her campaign says doctors have cleared her to resume campaigning. New tonight, Republican presidential nominee unveiled some new proposals focused on making child care more affordable. Among them, guaranteed 6 weeks of paid maternity leave for new mothers and allowing parents to deduct child care expenses. Donald Trump announced his plans in Pennsylvania, where he was introduced by his daughter Ivanka, who he says helped craft those proposals. Right now, police are searching for a suspect after a man was found shot to death inside a South Charlotte motel. We have been following this story since daybreak. CMPD found a 40-year-old man shot to death inside a motel room early this morning. Police have not identified the victim. Tomorrow, Jonathan Farrell's family will hold a vigil in Marshall Park to mark 3 years since a former CMPD officer shot and killed him. Farrell's family plans to visit the scene where Randall West Carrick shot and killed the unarmed man in 2013 after he was involved in a car accident. Carrick was charged with manslaughter. In 2015, a judge declared a mistrial after jurors said they could not reach a verdict. Tomorrow's vigil starts at 7 p.m. The ACC will continue its meetings tomorrow, where HB2 is a discussion topic. The ACC Football Championship is scheduled to happen in Charlotte again this year. However, we first told you last night at 11, the NCAA announced it was pulling its championship games from the state. Conservative groups scolded the NCAA over the move today.
They'd mentioned fairness and inclusion in their press release. Well, fairness and inclusion demands that the privacy rights and dignity interests of all North Carolinians be protected.
Some Senate Democrats are calling for a special session to try to repeal HB2. All new at 10 o'clock, Olympic all-around gymnastics champion Simone Biles is firing back after hackers posted her medical and drug testing records online and claimed that she and other athletes, quote, regularly used illicit strung drugs. U.S. officials call it a smear attack on American Olympians. Biles' records show that she tested positive for methylphenidate, commonly known as Ritalin. The drug is on the banned list of medications for athletes, but Biles has a medical exemption. And this afternoon, she tweeted, quote, I have ADHD and I have taken medicine for it since I was a kid. Please know I believe in clean sports, have always followed the rules, and will continue to do so, as fair play is critical to the sport and is very important to me. USA Gymnastics defended the Olympic gold medalist, saying all paperwork was properly submitted and approved for her to use the medication as part of the therapeutic use exemption. Records for several other athletes who have exemptions for using certain medications were also leaked, including those of tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams. Venus Williams said she was disappointed her records released. Serena Williams declined to comment. New tonight, 2 men are out of jail and speaking out after they rushed the stage on Dancing with the Stars to protest Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte. Check out this video as security guards, tackle one of the 2 protesters. All of this comes after that scandal in Rio, where officials say Lochte lied about being robbed.
Lochte is a liar, a coward, and a criminal.
He shouldn't just be able to walk on and start rehabilitating his image that easy.
Lockney says he wants to move on from the scandal, but is still facing charges of filing false police reports in Brazil, along with a 10-month ban from swimming. No one was eliminated during last night's season premiere. You can catch Ryan Lockney's next performance on Dancing with the Stars right here on Channel 9 next Monday. It starts at 8 p.m. New tonight, dozens of Fort Mill residents came together to discuss their concerns over a project that could lead to hundreds of new homes near Lake Wiley. A developer wants to build near Bankhead and McKee Road, right at the South Carolina border. Neighbors say with only one main road in and out of the area, there isn't enough space for the project.
I bought my property back in 2001 because of what was here. It's a beautiful property. You've got deer, you've got eagles, you've got just nature, and all that's going away.
Residents say they aren't trying to stop the developer. They just want some consideration in the density of the project. On Dr. Phil tonight, you just saw part 2 of the exclusive 3-part interview with JonBenet Ramsey's brother. This December marks 20 years since the little girl was murdered. Burke Ramsey was just 9 when his sister was killed, and in his first TV interview, many are questioning his calm demeanor.
I think people are reacting to the fact that you seem to be unbothered by all of this.
At some point you have to move on, and I'm not saying I moved on then. It might have been kind of the other end, as I didn't really get it, but you got to stop crying at some point, I guess.
The 3-part series of Burke's exclusive interview continues next Monday on Dr. Phil. It starts at 4 p.m. on Channel 9, followed by Eyewitness News at 5.
With a 7-inch rain deficit, often we look to tropical rain to end a drought. Well, we may be looking toward Florida. I'll show you what's going on here and whether it'll bring us any rain.
A shocking attack targeting police officers, a driver barreling through, sending one officer flying feet in the air.
I've never seen so many senseless, violent acts targeting law enforcement.
Tonight, police say the driver did it on purpose. The quick actions one officer took after slamming into the glass to get the suspect into custody. New tonight, shocking video, a driver slamming into 3 police officers at a gas station in Phoenix. Tonight, investigators say he did it on purpose. Eyewitness News anchor Scott Wickersham has a closer look at that car as it came barreling toward them.
Incredible video, Allison. All 3 officers were hurt, 2 of them seriously, after that car slammed into them. They were in the parking lot of a gas station in Phoenix around 2 a.m. when that driver deliberately rammed his car right into them. We'll see this video again. You see that driver there, spotlighted, going flying up into the air. That was his first day on the job. Police called it a violent and intentional attack and said the officers are lucky to be alive.
And I thank God that we're not planning 3 funerals right now.
Now, surveillance video then shows one of the officers spring into action there and struggle with that driver, taking him down to the ground and arresting him. He received minor injuries, but again was able to make that arrest. Well, that driver faces 3 charges of attempted first-degree murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. All 3 of the officers, though, are expected, Allison, to be okay.
Thanks, Scott. We've posted that shocking video on our website, WSOC-TV.com. You can find it right there on the homepage. In the last few hours, 2 people suited up with backpack sprayers to kill mosquitoes in a rural part of York County after another local person contracted the Zika virus while traveling. Crews treated a small area around the person's home. Some neighbors are more concerned about the spray than the virus, but one told us she's glad local health officials are taking action.
We had a big festival the other day. My own child was bit 12 times from mosquitoes, and all I could think was, are you okay?
Health officials say the chemical they used tonight is safe for people and for pets, and it dries in about an hour. Tomorrow night, CMS officials will hold another public forum so parents can weigh in on the search for a new superintendent. It will take place at North Mecklenburg High on Old Statesville Road from 7 p.m. to 8:30. The community will be able to speak with the executive firm hired by the school board to assist with the superintendent search. The board began the search process for its next leader this past spring to replace current superintendent Ann Clark. Her contract expires in June of 2017. The school board expects to finish finalist interviews for the position in December. Take a look at this. A Maryland school bus on fire. The driver is being called a hero after getting all 20 students off safely. The driver, Renita Smith, says the bus started making noises and she soon smelled smoke, and then she noticed flames from her side mirror yesterday afternoon. She pulled over, got all the kids ages 4 to 9 off safely, and then went back to check the bus again.
I was smelling the smoke. It smelled like a rubber kind of gas. I felt scared. I was about to cry, but my brother did instead. So I helped him.
Unbelievable, nobody was hurt. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Over in Severe Weather Center 9, we find Chief Meteorologist Steve Udelson tonight, where it's pretty quiet and even comfy.
Yeah, Allison, we are cooling off after another very warm day. 88 this afternoon in the Charlotte area. Fair skies now, moonlit, coming up on a full moon in a couple of days. But the air is still very muggy. As the humidity starts to rise, we may see low clouds and patches of fog form. Not an issue right now, but it may be by morning. Keith Monday will be keeping that on track for you, starting on daybreak at 4:30 on our sister station, Channel 9. Then you see the blanket of clouds forming overnight tonight. So again, keep that in mind. Doubt we'll see much in the way of fog. We'll be in the upper 60s early on, mid 70s by the end of the morning drive. Tomorrow's threat tracker, unfortunately, not much in the way of showers or storms. That's what we need the most of, is the rain to help combat some of the heat and humidity. It'll feel like it's about 90 tomorrow afternoon. And those suffering from allergies, you know what's going on. Ragweed counts are on the rise, and you can thank the lack of rain not really helping to wash stuff out. Here's a look at our futurecast temperatures by lunchtime. Remember, our average high is in the lower 80s this time of year. We'll be there by lunch, on our way to readings in the upper 80s. Some neighborhoods close in on 90 tomorrow afternoon before we see any showers or cooling storms pop up. Best chance for that, the mountains and the South Carolina Midlands. Remember that area of storminess I showed you off Florida? That's where those clouds are coming from. We'll take a better look at that in a minute. Here's your neighborhood forecast for Belmont. Warming on up. We'll be in the upper 80s. Rain chances no more than about 10% tomorrow afternoon. Davidson, same story. Nice start to the day, mid 60s, but rising to the mid to upper 80s. And in Wadesboro, pushing 90 tomorrow afternoon, especially when you include the humidity, and there is the chance of some late day showers. There's that little area of storminess. National Hurricane Center says they may start issuing advisories on this. May become a tropical depression at 11 o'clock tonight. You can clearly see the swirl of clouds of rain off the east coast of Florida. All of our guidance suggests it's going to have a tough time pushing north. Look at the hours click by. It's just sitting over central Georgia. That's not going to be a big storm, but it may bring rain down east and a fair amount of clouds our way on Thursday. Again, most of the showers will be well to our south, not helping out at all. So as you look ahead into the weekend, we will see the chance of storms increase, but that's because of a cold front coming in, hopefully to cool us off as we head into next week. Our 5-day forecast keeps us relatively calm the next few days. Warmest will be tomorrow as we approach 90, and then noticeably cooler as we head through late week, and there are the afternoon storm chances into the weekend. In case you're wondering about that 30% chance of rain on Sunday, and you may have a date at the stadium Sunday afternoon, we'll take a look at the forecast at 10:30.
A lot of people want to know about that.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
Steve. We've got some breaking news to get to now. In just the past hour, police say someone was shot in the stomach during an armed robbery in Steel Creek. It happened in the parking lot outside Firehouse Subs on South Tryon Street. The victim was rushed to CMC, but we're told their injuries are not life-threatening injuries. Police are searching for 3 suspects. We've got a crew headed to the scene right now. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more. An Uber driver attacked and robbed in her home.
I just feel like they're almost monsters.
How the suspects managed to track her down. A UNC Chapel Hill student of football players. She claims a football player raped her and the university did nothing. The action she's now taking in what she calls a push for justice. Families in need struggling to find affordable housing in Charlotte. The trend that's hurting lower income families. The city of Charlotte is adopting a new strategy to tackle an affordable housing shortage. The latest HUD data shows the city needs more than 30,000 affordable units for families. Leaders are now looking at city-owned surplus property to address the shortage. One example is the Cherry neighborhood, where 30 affordable housing units will be built.
Not only need to think about the upper and middle class, there is a lower class too. And we have to live just like everybody else.
The city is taking a look at 8 potential sites for affordable housing. New at 10, CMPD is taking steps to put into place community policing practices from the Obama administration. This Thursday, Chief Kirkputney is meeting with the city's Community Safety Committee to go over the 21st Century Police Task Force. Last month, we told you City Council wants CMPD to follow the President's 59 guidelines. They range from data collection to how police handle certain situations. New tonight, historically black colleges and universities in South Carolina could get more money to preserve significant sites. The State House passed a measure providing $10 million a year over the next 7 years. A government accountability study found more than 700 buildings in need of repairs. The Senate is expected to pass the measure later this year. A UNC student says she was raped by a football player and the school did nothing. Her push tonight for justice and what the coach is saying about the investigation. Then honoring a police officer killed in the line of duty.
He was talking about he got off work at 4 o'clock that morning, but he didn't get to.
The emotional show of support from his brothers and the community.